Techniques don't manifest, but your state does. While it seems rather obvious, I understand that some people might still be confused, and I am here to lift that confusion and take you back to your true power. What are states and why do they matter? Manifesting happens when you change states. The 3D world is mirroring you and gives you a perfect match to your state of being. You should also know that techniques are only used as a way of shifting states, which is why we only see success when we change our inner state and not when we spend years repeating affirmations or doing sats. So, what the heck is a state anyway? Your state is the avatar through which you experience life. Remember how creation is finished? Well, that means that there are countless versions of you. Each of that version is bound to a certain timeline or reality. Your state defines which of these versions you are, and on what timeline you are now. So if you want to win the lottery, you know already that there is a version of you that won that lottery. Congrats, but we don't want to be happy just because one of our versions won. We want to experience it. How do we experience it? We become that version. Okay, how do I know my state? If the honesty police come at you now and put you under a polygraph, who do you really say you are? Are you the person that has the desire? Or are you the person that is trying to get the desire? What are your thoughts during the day? Is your desire taking over your thoughts? What are your first and last thoughts of the day? Do you think to yourself, I am so grateful for having what I want? Or do you think, okay, I did my sats correctly, it should work this time, it is coming to me? Or even, where is it already? Why isn't it working? Let me check some more videos on how to manifest. Let me ask people around how they succeeded and do like them, etc. Those thoughts and actions are determined by your state. It doesn't matter if you did 24 hours of sats, if you did 10,000 affirmations. If these are your thoughts, if deep inside you are still acknowledging the lack and still putting your desire on the list of stuff that is yet to come, it only means that you don't have it. And you that doesn't have it can never have it, because as within so without. This is the law. Fine. How do I change my state and manifest it easily? You change your state by doing techniques correctly, and by actually living in the end. Techniques equals greater than living at the end equals greater than new state equals greater than new 3D. Here is a little step-by-step on how to change states. 1. You do your technique and you do it correctly. Correctly means that as you're doing it, you are not thinking of it as a technique. Example, if you do sats, don't think of it as visualization. Think of it as reality. I don't mean visualize in first person or in full HD. I mean you see the sats the same way you are watching this now. You know you're watching this, you're not imagining, right? Well, your sats should be the same. This is the feel it is real part of it. See it as a portal in time and space, and that is what you are experiencing now. If you affirm again, don't affirm with the intention of making it happen. If you affirm now, I am watching this video, how real does it feel? Your affirmations should be the same. You are not affirming in order to get something. You are declaring what you have already. 2. You start to live in the end. You live in the end when you simply know that you got the desire. You think and act as the person that got it already. You stop thinking about it, you stop trying to get it, and you stop noticing the lack of it. This is the part that requires a bit more mental effort and creativity, as you will have to ignore the 3D and keep focusing on the end. In case of doubt, ask yourself, if my desire was here now, would I be doing this or thinking this? This step should happen automatically as a result of a successful technique. But if you want to make it happen anyway, just use your imagination. Imagine having what you want and seeing how it feels like, how you act, how you think, and what you watch or listen to. And just do it. I know many people that turn living in the end into a technique, and they do it from a place of lack. Living in the end is a result of knowing that it is done. As if someone from the future came back and told you it happened. As if a genie just granted your wish. You know it is done, you don't pretend that it is done. 3. You change your state. The change of state is the last part of the process, and it should happen naturally after living in the end and acting as if you got the desire. When you change your state, you will fully, completely, and totally become the person that has the desire. Your first thought in the morning will be in the line of having that desire. Your last thought too. All your daily thoughts will be as if you got it. And I am not speaking about thoughts that you make like affirmations. No, your autopilot thoughts will become the thoughts of you that have the desire. You will notice yourself making room for something you're buying, or buying groceries to cook the favorite dish of your SP, and all this comes naturally to you. You don't even question it or feel weird about it. It is a heavy and general feeling of knowingness, just like you know your name or which planet you're on. From that state, you will no longer notice the lack, and you won't even need to remind yourself or do any techniques. From my own experience, whenever I fully change states, my desire comes within minutes or hours, sometimes within 48 hours if I keep going on and off, but never more than that. Funny real-life example of how changing states feels like. To me, changing states feels like I was hit on the head and woke up in this timeline where I don't see what I know I have. and whenever I question it, it works instantly. I once wanted to rent a flat, and the owner, after agreeing, said they are giving it to Airban. So I just decided that nope, I live there. I saw myself living there. And I fully became the person that lives there. I was checking restaurants on Uber Eats and looking for matching decoration items and all that. My flatmate was freaking out, and I told him, we are going to live there tomorrow. We will move there. Just like the sun is going to rise, we are going there. He called me crazy, but I didn't care. Next day he called again to check what happened, and the guy said, no, sorry, it's only for Airban. So my flatmate came to me freaking out that we were now homeless and they refused us. As he said that, my genuine reaction was like, WTF, it can't be. It makes no sense. I remembered my scene as if it was a memory and thought it makes no sense. That is the flat. I saw myself living there. As soon as I had that thought, my phone started ringing. The guy's wife called me to say sorry, there was a misunderstanding and we can move in as soon as we want. This one out of many times where it happens right after I question the 3D, which to me only proves that the 3D follows and can only match your inner state. How to know if we entered into a state? So the question becomes, how do I know that I have successfully entered into a new state? Is there a simple way to know that we are now in a new state? Yes, there is. The way you know if you have successfully entered into a new state of mind is by the immediate thoughts or words that come from the state. For example, let's say you are unemployed, and the words you say to yourself are, I need a job, I need money, what am I going to do? I have no job. These thoughts come from the state of being unemployed. Now, you want to be employed, so you claim it first, I am employed. This is the best place to start. Now do not force any more thoughts. If you do not get an immediate thought naturally following the newly professed state, then keep on telling yourself you are, in this case, employed. Keep feeling after those words, for they are true, and then you will be given an immediate thought following the state. You will naturally think from the state. Then do not let this slip out of your hands. Keep thinking about this new state. Do not just think about it once and then move on with your day telling yourself, I am broke, I need money. Now, I am not saying that all day long you should be saying I am employed, I am thankful to finally be working. No, this is not natural either. You have many things in your life that you do not constantly think about, but you still have them. You know you have them. If you think from the state of abundance daily, then you will eventually know you are abundant. Do not be concerned as to how, when, or where, only the end. If you are in debt, what is the solution? That you win the lottery or an uncle dies and leaves you his fortune. No, the end is that you are debt-free. How would you feel if all of your bills were paid? Assume that feeling and let imagination harden that feeling into a fact. Neville. So here in this quote, Neville says to go to the end. He asks you the question, how would it feel if it were true? Now, remember, Neville is not solely speaking on emotions here. He is speaking of feeling reality. We know this because of all the other quotes that are exactly like this, but he adds, what I would see, what would I hear, how would others see me, what would I do were it true? These questions can help you think from the state, but none of this should be forced. It is from my experience, forcing any assumptions only pushes them further away. Assume a state. Greater than thoughts naturally come from the state if assumed successfully. Greater than these thoughts will become a knowing. Greater than this knowing releases all anxiety. Greater than you eventually forget about it, because you know. Greater than then it comes into being and you think it would have happened anyway.